Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Streaming December 12th on Peacock. Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie are back
That's hot. Loves it.
for a show-stopping reunion that will prove putting on an opera is anything but simple.
We're really good at this.
One thing's for sure, they won't be upstaged.
Good to have you back. Come on, we've got a show to do.
Paris and Nicole, The Encore, a 3-part reunion special, streaming December 12th, only on Peacock.
Let's hang out. Let's hang out. And let's talk about what Legends about. Let's hang out. And let's listen to two lesbians shout. Let's hang out. Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Hang Out. I'm Ellie Brigida.
And I'm Lee Holmes Foster, and here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This Week in the Lesdom is a place for us to touch base every episode about things going on with the podcast, with our lives, or just with the greater Les universe. And we want to start by reminding you that we are still having our Season 5 Patreon campaign. If you enjoy the podcast and you want to help us continue to be able to make it, to host events, and all the other things that we do, you can join us at bit.ly/lespatreon. We also have a couple events coming up that we want to remind you of. The first one, if you do join our Patreon, we do Les Central's watch parties with all of our patrons, and we have our next one coming up. We're going to be watching Under the Christmas Tree as it airs live on Lifetime on December 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We are so excited. We have a couple episodes coming up, including a bonus episode with Elise and Tatiana, as well as our full Les Centrals episode featuring our original song at the end. So if you want to be prepared for that, you will not want to miss our watch party. We also have an event coming up where we're going to be doing an AMA style event where you can come, you can ask us all of your questions. Do you have questions for us? Do you need advice on things? We're going to be doing that in collaboration with Wisdom app, and that's going to be on January 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern, and we hope to see all of you there. In the greater Les universe, there's a couple things going on. First of all, the first lesbian housewife of Miami is going to be debuting soon. The Real Housewives of Miami is coming back in a few weeks, and we are going to have Julia Lemigova, who's going to be on and is the wife of tennis star Martina Navratilova, and she's going to be, I think, our first openly gay Real Housewife, so that's very exciting for any fans of the franchise. Also, we want to talk about an interview that Zendaya gave where she might have mentioned that, she's interested in some other creative pursuits, like maybe directing, things like that. And one of the things that she mentioned in that interview is that she'd really love to create a simple love story about two Black girls. So listen, Zendaya, we're on board. We want that love story. Please give it to us as soon as possible. Please and thank you. And also, if you could play one of them, that would be top-notch A+. That's all we're saying. And that's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Lee.
Thanks, Ellie and Lee, and welcome to our 74th installment of Should Have Been Gay.
Oh, it was fun, it was great, but it should have been a little more gay.
And in this week's episode, what's this? What's this? A pumpkin in a sleigh. What's this? What's this? And everybody's gay. What's this?
Did you just make that up?
I did.
On the spot?
I did.
Wow, you're such a good songwriter, Lee. I'm so impressed.
You're welcome, Ellie.
We're so excited to be talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas today. And we have a very special guest, Valerie Rose Lohman. Welcome, Valerie.
I'm so excited to be here.
We're so excited to have you here. For those of you who don't know, but you all should know, Valerie is a BAFTA-nominated voice actress who rose to prominence after voicing the lead role of Edith Finch in the critically acclaimed video game What Remains of Edith Finch, produced by Annapurna Interactive. Valerie also has been in Wolfenstein Youngblood and most recently is one of the producers and stars as Mel in The Flame, our beautiful gay musical. Hi,
Woo.
Valerie.
Are we hitting the point where we can be like, friend of the pod, Valerie Rose Lohman? Like, I don't know. We've never had like that many repeat guests now, but I feel like we're like a legit
Yeah,
podcast
I would
now,
also like to
right?
say, like, it is a pretty big deal to be a second-time guest.
It just means we love you so much, Valerie.
I'm
That's
excited.
all.
I'm so honored. I think this is the first time I've ever been a second-time guest on any podcast.
Friend of the
Yes.
pod, Valerie Rose Lohman, here for the second time, everyone.
Hello. Thank you for having me. We're so excited. And we had Valerie on this episode because, Valerie, you are a huge Halloween fan, correct?
I am. I actually just saw Nightmare Before Christmas live with Danny Elfman and Billie Eilish on Halloween.
Incredible.
Yeah.
We didn't even know that when we asked you to be on. I'm so excited.
so
We
cool.
figured you would like this.
You a spooky gay. We know that.
Big spooky gay. Big spooky gay. I came out of the womb spooky. So it's
Yes.
perfect.
I'm so excited. All right, let's dive in. I'm ready. Let's talk about our IMDb synopsis. Are you ready, Lee?
I am. So, our IMDb synopsis for The Nightmare Before Christmas is as follows. Jack Skellington, king of Halloween Town, discovers Christmas Town, but his attempts to bring Christmas to his home causes confusion.
Mm.
We've
Okay.
had better. We've had better IMDb synopses.
Like sexual confusion, yes.
A little bit. Yeah. What
We
about
would
do you have a gay synopsis, Ellie? What's your gay synopsis?
I do. All right. Jack Skellington, bisexual icon, straddles two worlds and figures out his sexuality during Christmas time.
It's like the new Hallmark gay rom-com. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I do think he is bi icon. We'll talk about it.
Oh, for sure.
This whole thing is just a complete allegory for bisexuality, pansexuality, like straddling two different like heteronormative worlds and homosexual worlds. And yeah, he's very queer coded, and I'm so excited to dive in.
It's
Yeah.
why I had such a hard time writing a gay synopsis for this, because I'm like, literally name a queer allegory and like I will TED talk it into Nightmare Before Christmas. Like there's
It's
There's too
very
much.
it's very deep. Like
It
it's
is.
yeah, I'm really here for it. How about you, Valerie? What's your gay synopsis?
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I think I've always seen Jack as like a bi king. Like
yes.
just 1000%. I love it.
Yep.
And so has every queer high schooler from the day this movie was made through the present, right?
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Bye, King.
I would say I think the allegory that I landed on for my gay synopsis is, lanky gay Jack Skellington tries to give heterosexuality a try in an attempt to fit in and discovers it's not for him and, jumps back into the queer world with a renewed enthusiasm.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
I saw Christmas.
I know, and
As
we're going to talk
gay.
about both, trust me. I went back and forth so many times on which one did I want
But-
to do my gay synopsis on.
Halloween
Okay.
is a gay holiday. So
True. So, okay. So you're like, because for me, I was like, oh, he's been living in this heteronormative world. And he was like, I'm in this thing and something feels off. And so then he saw all the joy and the like bright colors of this like gay bar that is Christmas Town, right? And he was like, what's this? A beautiful gay town. Like, I guess I'm gay. But I agree, like you could look at it the other way where he's been living a homonormative life
Mm-hmm.
and like thought he was gay this whole time.
I also have
And
a
then
whole
was
allegory where like
surprised.
he is the heterosexual world in a general sense. So like I'm telling you, get ready. We're diving deep
Oh, I'm
today is what we're
excited.
gonna do.
It is. I mean, either way, we know that these two worlds represent
my
different
God.
sexualities.
We're gonna read way too much into literally everything, and I'm so excited. But before we do that, let's talk about our experience with the movie. Valerie, before your recent Danny Elfman soiree, what's your experience with The Nightmare Before Christmas?
So this was actually the second time I've seen it live with Danny Elfman. I saw it a couple years ago.
Incredible.
And it's actually one of the, I think it's one of the first VHS tapes I ever watched at home. I had the old VHS tape that had like a bunch of other Tim Burton shorts on it. I had a
Nice.
phase in middle school where I only owned Nightmare Before Christmas purses, like very niche. I go way back. I just went on Haunted Mansion Holiday at Disney the other night too. So
Wait, so what were the purses? Like, what did they look like?
okay, so one was like a big like messenger bag thing, and it was white and black, and then there was a circular pocket that had a zipper, and the circular pocket was Jack's face. That was
Mm.
one of them, and then one of them was a little like across the body, like smaller purse that just also had a giant Jack on it, and it was like said like Nightmare, Halloween Town, like all over it. And I like thought it was really cool, and I actually had 3 of them because that smaller one ended up getting ruined, and I was so sad that my parents ordered me a new one. So it did
Wow.
run deep for a long time.
That's a very, very deep Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, I'm
Pass.
like I love that you brought me on for this one. It's this and Hocus
Just-
Pocus that are like the 2 deep ones.
Yeah, it just feels right. And we already did Hocus Pocus, fortunately and unfortunately, because we didn't have you on for it.
Mhm.
But I'm glad we could have you for this one.
Thank you.
And I'm curious. This is a random question. Do you think Nightmare Before Christmas is a Halloween or a Christmas movie?
I used to say as a kid that it was a Thanksgiving movie.
Ooh, I love that.
I don't know. I don't know. Disneyland puts up Nightmare Before Christmas stuff at Halloween, and then it goes through New Year's Day. I don't know.
It's both.
But I think
It's
the
both.
point is it's both,
Yeah.
right? It is bisexual. It is bi holiday.
Yeah,
It is
big bi energy.
big bi energy for this film
Yes.
because we are going to be releasing this around Christmas time
Mhm.
as like a Christmas should have been gay, but you're right. You can play this in the same way that you can play All I Want for Christmas Is You the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You can play this anytime from Halloween to New Year's Day.
Exactly.
I like that. Lee, what was your experience with The Nightmare Before Christmas?
So, my experience with Nightmare Before Christmas is also, I think we also had a VHS tape of it when I was younger. I must have watched it a ton. I feel like I also was like peak era of like the Hot Topic, Nightmare Before Christmas, like everything, and like every probably queer kid in your school who, like, whether they had come out or not and like realized it yet, had like the Jack and Sally like sweatshirt and hoodie and stuff, and like all of those. Love this movie. And then this year, we hit like the week of Halloween, and Kelsey tells me that she's never seen it. And I was like,
wow.
what? In what world? How is that even possible? So we watched it immediately, and the second that we started it, she turns to me and she was like, "Should you be taking notes for Should Have Been Gay?" And I was like, yes. Yes, I should be. So I also took notes on my most recent rewatch, and now she's gotten to experience the joy of The Nightmare Before Christmas. And for me, given that I don't think that I'd seen it in a while, I love when you do go back to like a movie that I just loved and cherished so much when I was younger, that like so holds up. Like, boy, does this movie stand the test of time. It is delightful. It is an absolute joy, and I loved going back and rewatching it.
What was
Agreed.
her thoughts?
She loved it. She thought it was great. Like, just the charm of it, you know? And you'll appreciate this, Ellie, because you lived through me trying to watch the Lion King remake, and my whole thing of it is like it has no personality and no charm. And that's, to me, this was like polar opposite experience of being like, yes, there it is. Look, like, is the animation, I mean, 93, like, think of how much animation has changed since this movie came out. But I'm like, do not change like a single like scrap of it. It is so perfect, even though it's like all kind of like the janky claymation-ness of it all. I'm like, it's perfect. It's beautiful just as it is. You don't need to change anything because it just had so much character and so much personality, and all of the things about it are like so perfect. And like they do hold up. Like the design of it, even I remember when I was in college, and because I did a comp sci minor when I was in undergrad, and I took a class where it was like a computer modeling, like 3D design class, right? And so it was like the first time that you're trying to learn like some of the 3D modeling softwares, and you just had to like pick something to like you're just rendering a scene, like you have to render a scene, and like that's what I picked is the pumpkin scene, the hill with the big moon and like because it's so recognizable, you know, and it takes so little to make something that is so instantly recognizable that it's like the second you see that little curly hill and the little pumpkins, like it takes very little before everyone is like, oh yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas, of course. Of course. Who would not, like, you know, anybody could see that and recognize that. I mean, it's great. What a great movie. Love it.
We love a curly hill.
Mm-hmm. We love a curly hill. Come on. What about you, Ellie? What's your history with this?
I have a similar experience to the two of you, but I was not as obsessed, and I'm sorry about that. I did really love the movie, but, you know, I wasn't one of those kids who was wearing all the purses and the Hot Topic things. But I like it. It's a very cute movie.
But were other kids in your high school wearing it? Like, this is what I'm curious about, because I feel like this was so ubiquitous when I was in high school.
I don't know, because Valerie's younger than us and was wearing it. So I'm like, clearly I didn't like miss a generation.
I was also in like weird art high school where there were like lots of like there's like a visual artist conservatory that like worshiped this movie. So it wasn't super out of place.
Yes.
So
I feel like there probably was a subsect of people who are wearing it. It was not me. But that's okay.
I just feel like I have never walked into a Hot Topic and not seen Nightmare Before Christmas merch.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Ever.
The merch is there for sure. And it is like instantly recognizable. I do love the music. When I was listening to it again, I was like, yeah, these songs slap. And I also was like, the vocals are really good too.
Mm-hmm.
Like listening as an adult, I'm like, okay, cool. Really good voice acting, really good vocal work. Catherine O'Hara,
an icon.
as Sally, so good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love the acting. I love the personality. We are here for a personality, like cast, a personality, everything. I was cracking up like at so much of it, like because I hadn't seen it in a really long time, and I was like Sally slipping him the nightshade. I don't know why it like cracked me up. Just like so many little things. But yes, love the film. Was not crazy obsessed, but still acknowledge. Great film, gay film.
the most important part.
The most important part. Gay film. So let's dive in to the gayness of it. I know Lee and I, we already have sort of gone a little wild on that allegory, which we will continue. But Valerie, to you, what makes this film so gay?
Well, first off, like I said, Halloween is inherently super gay. And I don't know, there's just something about Jack that just, he is both bi and he also gives me like bi wife energy. Like I think Jack and Sally are bi.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're like cute bis in a bi cute relation. Like they're so cute. And then just like, I don't know, I think for me, and I think this is why it was like, I was drawn to it so much, is like the theatricalness of it feels very, very gay. It feels like it's inspired by a lot of queer coded art from before its time, and I don't know, it feels gay. I don't know, it's like I can't like describe it in like a more like concrete way than that. And too, like I think the like Jack wanting something more definitely screams that. I was always obsessed with the Jack's Lament song, just like that pining and needing something else and feeling like, is this all there is? Because there's something more. I think is an inherently queer experience. Yeah.
What are the lyrics to Jack's Lament that are, I like feel like we have to pull it up because there were some pretty gay lyrics.
There's a lot of gay lyrics in that song. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Can I submit some for consideration?
Yes, please.
Okay, sorry. Up first, I'd like to submit With the slightest little effort of my ghost-like charms, I have seen grown men give out a shriek. With the wave of my hand and a well-placed moan, I have swept the very bravest off their feet. Now listen, I'm just saying out of context, you read that a certain way, man, it's pretty gay.
It's
It is.
quite gay. I think too, there's the whole part that's like you said, like about him being tired of the same old thing, right? It says, I, Jack the Pumpkin King, have grown so tired of the same old thing.
Mhm.
Which is why I read it very like he's just tired of like heteronormativity. But I think it could also be that he's just tired of normativity. So like he has been one way his whole life and he wants to be another way. Like he's just like, this can't be the only thing that exists in this world. To me, it was heteronormativity, but
I think that's why it's always been like this movie has always struck a chord for queer viewers, right?
Mhm.
And like Jack's Lament, I think, is a huge part of that because I think you're absolutely right, Valerie. Like that is something about those lyrics,
yeah.
and especially, I mean, like Danny Elfman is just a genius, you know.
Yes.
And so it's like there's just such an earnestness when you're listening to him, like. You know, the ending of the song where it's like, there's an empty place in my bones that calls out for something unknown. And it's like those, yeah, like every little queer teenager who's like trying to find themselves is always just like, yeah, me too, Jack. Like, like you get
Yes.
it, you know, like you get it.
Mm-hmm.
well, and I think that's why, like you're saying, Sally is also bi because she's sitting there watching him sing the song and she's like, me too.
Yeah.
Right? They both are like, we feel like there's something like we're different in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that that way is because they're queer.
Yeah.
Clearly. I would like to say too, I love when we do these should have been gays just in general, but when I Google like this movie, gay, and see what comes up, and there have been many articles about how queer people resonate with this and also like a queer reading of the film. Like we're not the only people who think this. Just so
Because
you
it's
know.
a gay ass movie. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Super gay movie.
There are some we look up and I'm like, okay, nobody thinks this is gay and we're going to go completely off the rails with this and I don't care. This is like pretty standard that people understand this is queer coded.
Can we stay with this allegory for now then? And can we also talk about what's this? Because I mean, you're totally right, Ellie, in terms of like which allegory are you leaning into? The discovering queerness allegory of this movie. I mean, what's this is like it's perfect. It's so good for that. I love that song so much.
Well, that's why I say, like, it literally, the lyrics of that song, like, if you took it and you had someone walk into a gay bar for the first time, they could sing it word for word and, like, it would be accurate.
Can we just make can we
yeah.
actually do like a queer version though where we rewrite some lyrics and just make a video of like someone's first time in a gay bar? Like,
Yeah, honestly, it'd be great. Let's put it on TikTok.
So
what's
cute.
this? The women have short hair. What's this? There's rainbows everywhere. Like, can we just do that?
Please do that. Please do that.
Yes. That is the resounding answer to that is yes.
Excellent. I'm very excited already.
Yes. I mean, do you remember, Valerie, like the first time you heard that song? Like when you first heard it, did it resonate as a queer song to you?
I think I was so small. I'm like not kidding. I think I was like a baby the first time I watched it because my parents also really liked it and like we had it on VHS. Like I don't remember a time when I didn't know that song or like the
Oh my
entire
God.
score.
Here,
Yeah.
okay, so I know I already said that like Kelsey had never seen it, but I have to tell you, when she told me that she had never seen this movie, literally the first thing I said is I was like, I sing What's This about like random shit that happens in our lives like all the time. And she was like,
She's like, I thought you just wrote that song.
yeah, she was like, yeah, and like after you did it enough times, I kind of realized like you must have been referencing something that like I don't know what it's from. And I was like, I am horrified right now. Like I sing that all the time. What's happening? How can you not
Like I've
know
been
it?
making this reference to you for 25 years.
Oh my God.
I cannot. But I would like to say there are let's also dive into the lyrics of this song as well because lots. Oh, here we go. This one I like this. They kiss. Why that looks so unique. Inspired.
Amazing.
That's gay.
A unique kiss is a gay kiss. Am I wrong? Or
Yes.
am I right?
Yes,
So right.
correct.
So right. This looks like fun. This looks like fun. Gayness.
Mhm.
They're so
Wait, we're not going to
many.
talk about in here. They've got a little tree. How queer, and who would ever think?
Yes, the word queer.
The word queer is literally in the song.
Yep.
But it's also
And
like,
I know, yeah.
I feel like what's this to me is like, the other gay synopsis I almost went with my Jack is discovering queerness allegory is like, Jack Skellington goes through the same awkward, messy gay puberty as everyone else does. And like, that's what this song is, right? Like, this song is gay puberty in a nutshell, where it's like, you're a little ADHD, you're a little all over the place. You just are like, what is everything? I want to try it all. I don't understand what is happening. I love it. Let me do it all. This is great. What is that? Who is that? What's over there? Oh my God. And you're like, okay.
Well, I think when you put it in that context, that's why, like, I do feel like it is like this baby gay who's discovered gayness for the first time and goes way too far, right? Like, goes way too far.
Yep.
And, like, completely destroys everyone around them because they're just so excited about this thing that they have no clue what they're doing. And they decide to just, like, go for it full steam ahead and just leave, like, a wake of destruction.
I'm going to have the worst haircut and I'm going to date 7 people all at once and they're all bad for me.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, Jack, we get it. We've been there.
And that's why I love Jack and Sally so much, because we got the chaos bi and then we got the chill bi.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
they're perfect.
And we also have Sally as, like, the gay best friend who's, like, sitting on the sidelines, right? And is like, but, like, I'm in love with you. Like, don't you see me? And then, but, like, just being like, but I guess Jack needs to go and, like, be gay with all these other people. And, like, he'll come back one day to me. You know, like, that exact storyline has not happened to, like, a baby gay and then, like, a sort of, like, I feel like Sally's a baby gay-ish, but, like, she sort of, like, already is like, okay, I already know I'm in love with this one person. I feel like Sally's probably pansexual, where she's like, I don't really, like, I'm not gonna, like, define my sexuality exactly. I just love Jack. You know, like,
I like
that's
that.
how she is. So I don't feel like she's going through as much chaos as Jack is, who's like gay culture and gay people and gay Christmas presents. Like, and let me kidnap the gay president.
The gay president. And Sally's just on the corner, like, popping edibles and being like, I'll just wait for you to notice me. Okay. Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just so gay.
I also feel like Sally's story has something of the, like, I mean, I understand it's not like a perfect stand-in because there's this whole weird, like, I am your master element to it. But it's like, I feel like there's a lot of that. It feels relatable in the, like, overbearing homophobic parents, you know, where it's like, you have to sneak out and, like, you have to, like, get away from their clutches and their grip on your life to, like, be your true self. And, like, I think that part was also relatable, you know?
Yeah.
Or like poison them to get away.
Yeah.
Poison them, sure, whatever. However you gotta roll, you know?
I was also thinking of, what's that guy's name? What's her master, quote unquote? What's his name?
Yeah, the doctor.
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
He's
the
literally credited
doctor.
as evil scientist.
Okay, so evil scientist. I also was looking at that as, like, yes, homophobic parents, but could also be like heteronormative controlling boyfriends. Like,
yeah.
and in that, like, first very, like, toxic relationship that you're in, that, like, Sally's trying to get out of because she's like, this is not what I want. I want to be with someone who's more open and bisexual, like Jack.
Like the husband and waitress.
And then-
yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
I gotcha.
Very much so.
Yeah, I could definitely see that reading as well. I mean, it's just everywhere you look, it gets gayer. It gets gayer. Everything about this movie gets gayer and gayer the more you look at it.
Because then he has his boring straight
Oh, God,
girlfriend
I know.
that he makes later in the movie.
She's literally half of my
Exactly.
brain in a different brain. And
Yep.
you're like, that feels very right. Yeah. This feels exactly right. Yeah. It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And they act like it's a happy ending for the evil scientists. And I'm like, I guess, but yeah, we don't deserve that.
No, we really
Yeah.
don't.
No, but I guess he gets what he wants, which is just a subservient heteronormative
Yeah.
girlfriend. Yeah,
Yep.
and that's not Sally.
No.
What about Sally's song? Okay, so here's some of the lyrics that I'll read to you. And does he notice my feelings for him? And will he see how much he means to me? I think it's not to be. And will we ever end up together? No, I think not. It's never to become, for I am not the one.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. Gender bend those lyrics, and like that literally is me in high school. So like it's cool. NBD, Nightmare Before Christmas. Why don't you just read me for filth right there?
Well, that's why I feel like she is the like pining best
Yeah.
friend.
Oh,
100%.
hardcore, yeah.
Yeah.
And we have seen that trope play out
So many times.
so many times.
Mm-hmm.
So
And we
many
still do.
times.
Every lesbian out there, right? Like every queer woman who's ever had a crush on another woman, like these lyrics just running through your head.
Yes.
In a constant refrain. Will they ever see me? Probably not. They probably will never
I
love
will
me.
always be here. Let me just let me throw myself out of a window and sew myself back together to deliver a care package while you take over.
I made you
Christmas.
dinner. I love you. Bye.
She doesn't even wait. She like literally waves and then she's like out of there.
She can't handle
No.
she can't handle the
So
rejection.
so relatable.
Yeah, Sally is like hopeless. But I'm glad they get together in the end.
He's so stupid. He's such a dumb guy because at the end when he's like, there's a line he says along the lines of like, Sally, I didn't even realize. And I was like, you're
Yeah.
a dumbass.
Yeah.
Like the whole time. Like oblivious. Oblivious.
I have been a Jack also. Like that
I like
shit
how I'm like,
happens.
I am Sally, and Ellie's like, I've been Jack a few times.
I'm
Listen.
Jack. It happens.
It's just so hard when everybody's praising you all the time as the Pumpkin King and telling you how great you are year after year after year. Like, it all starts to blur together after a while, you know?
That's not what I mean, but yes. It's not what I mean. No, more just like when you're like, you have a friend who you're like, we're friends. And you're like, we're friends. And then like, they're like, oh no, I'm in love with you. And you're like, oh shit. I did not realize that.
Which also a very gay story, that, right?
Very gay.
Yeah.
Very, very
It just-
relatable.
That's a
very gay.
queer rom-com right there. Like, that's all it is.
Yep. Sound familiar, Valerie?
That is, I wasn't gonna say it. But yeah.
Wow, we are really coming for each other tonight, and I love it. Personally, I am a fan.
This is why it's great to have a friend of the pod.
So much more personal connection to the piece. I love it.
Exactly. You can really just dig deep.
Yeah.
Dig
yeah.
right down there.
Yeah. We should have brought Caitlin on this too and had like a roundtable discussion.
Oh my god. It would have been a little too much, I think, for everyone.
Would have
Like,
been pure chaos.
who's who on this panel?
Uh,
I will be playing the role of Jack.
we can fight
Oh my
over
God, I
Sally.
cannot.
We'll do it. No,
Who
that's not
would you
true. I want to
be?
be the Halloween kids. Who am I kidding? I love them so much. Oogies.
Mhm. Did you know Catherine
Should we-
O'Hara is one of them?
Oh my god, is she really one of them too? That's
she's the little witch.
Stop it. I love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
I know.
I think were actually one of my favorite parts of like going back and watching this was like, especially because now that I'm like, you know, old old and lame and we watch everything with subtitles now, and I don't think I'd ever seen this movie with subtitles before, but you just like pay attention so much more to like the lyrics in all of the songs and stuff, and I super enjoyed like really listening to their little like kidnap Santa Claus song. It's delightful. It's so much
Yes.
fun. They're so fucking crazy. They're like, these are like the chaos buys. They're bonkers. I love them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So we feel like they're queer as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel
All-
like
all have
I
their
am
own fun.
headcanoning that there are no actual children in this world, and like everybody is an eternal being, and
Yeah.
therefore they are like a little poly like triad of like absolute chaos gremlins, and I love them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're correct. I don't think there are any children in Halloween Town. Do you think there are children in Christmas Town? Or Or they're just
I think there's
elves?
just the children in the real world.
Yeah, I feel like everybody in the holiday towns are just like, they are eternal beings, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What do we think about the Easter Bunny?
I love him. I want more of him. He's so cute.
Do we think in the time that we've seen him, we can speculate his sexuality?
Interesting question. I clearly did not spend enough time on that in this rewatch, but like, sure, why not?
I feel like maybe like ultimate baby gay like walks into a gay bar and is terrified that they have to run out.
Ooh,
because they're like, I'm
a
so
closeted,
Yeah.
like not quite there yet.
Yes, like just too much. So it's too much.
I
Gotta
love
go.
it. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And as we head into Thanksgiving time, I want to start by thanking my wife, Kelsey, who has not only listened to just about every episode of this podcast for 8 seasons now, but who also is the only reason I'm able to make time to record it every week. She takes the kids, gets them dinner, and gets them ready for bed, just so that Ellie and I can come on and yell about gay things into each other's faces for an hour. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people you're grateful for in your life, including yourself. I've been in therapy for a long time now, and one thing that's so important about therapy is how it teaches you to be more intentional. And being intentional about gratitude and how to show that to the people you appreciate is just one of the many benefits that I've gotten from therapy over the years. If you've been thinking of starting therapy, consider giving BetterHelp a try. I know how hard it can be to find time for regular therapy, and BetterHelp is designed to be flexible and convenient for your schedule. You can fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you want to start being more intentional about gratitude in your life, visit betterhelp.com/letshangout today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/letshangout.
Let's hang out.
For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. And when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. And when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but wait. So can we use this? Because I was gonna do it with Jack and Sally getting together at the end of the movie. I feel like this is also a segue because you'll note, and it's hard for us not to, and it's why I went with the allegory I went with ultimately. Halloween Town is gay, right? Like,
yeah.
Halloween Town is queer culture. Everyone in there is like kind of weird.
Yep.
Kind of like not normative in a lot of ways and super, super duper gay. Like, name a character in Halloween Town who is not gay. You can't do it. The witches, they gay.
The vampires,
gay. The swamp creature, gay. Like, everyone in there. The Oogie's kids, gay. Oogie Boogie, gay. Everyone is gay.
Mm-hmm.
They're all gays,
True.
right?
Yes.
The himbo with the axe in his head, a gay. Like, they're all gay. So I think that's why.
The seriousness with which Valerie and I are just shaking our heads like, yes.
Because it's real though, right? Like, there is nothing about Halloween Town that is not relatable to queer people because like they're all kind of like they're the outcasts and they're like in this way where like you even understand when you watch the movie that like normal people are supposed to watch them and be like, they're a little weird though. Like, they're a little kooky.
Well, and also if you look at it that way, when Jack goes into the real world as Santa Claus, like when you think of like the real world, quote unquote, there's probably a lot more homophobia in the real world than there is in Halloween Town. So yeah.
And that's okay. I want to bring up that because when we see them celebrating Halloween, we don't see them celebrating Halloween in relation to the real world like we see like Santa going into the real world to bring Christmas. How does Halloween operate? What do they just party just because it's like like I really need to know this. Do they go to, you know? Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah,
I do
like,
know what you're saying.
Like,
how do they
coming out
bring
on Halloween?
Yeah.
And scaring people, and we just like think they're people in costume.
Yeah, like how do they bring Halloween, or do they just like celebrate it to like keep the the energy?
Yeah, I like to think that the scene we see, like the Halloween Town song at the opening, I like to think that's like the Halloween post game where they've like gone out in the world, scared the literal bejesus out of everybody, and then now they're coming back to be like, and a rager all night, like the fun don't stop in Halloween Town.
Yeah, I totally see that.
The same way that you might like, you know, Ellie, I know you just went to New York, you know, and I was watching your stories, being left out as I always am, watching your stories, and you're like, oh, our story, like one of them you were like, oh, we're gonna go to like Henrietta's in the cubby hole, and then you're like, here's the videos from there, here's the videos from Stonewall, here's the videos from this other bar we went to, here's the videos from like this after. It's like it never stops, right? Like a gay night of fun ends. Just keep going.
Club. Yeah,
so they're like, the club's all closed, we're gonna come back to Halloween Town, keep it rolling, set ourselves on fire a little bit more, we're having a great time.
Yeah, that scene was so cool to me as a kid. I like could not. I was like, he lit himself on fire. It's just my favorite. So cool.
That boy is on fire.
Yeah,
it
it's definitely like a pretty incredible after party. It's like they did the show and now they're at the cast party. Like that's what I see it as. Like they did their Halloween performance because they're gay theater kids. And then they had the after party. So like no matter which way you slice it, they're gay.
That's even so much more perfect that you just said that, Ellie, because my cast parties did happen to feature the fact that one of the kids I did theater with did a summer at clown camp where he learned how to spin fire staff and then consequently taught a couple of us to also spin fire staff. And so our cast parties literally used to be, we would like go back to the cast party and light a staff on fire and like dance around with it. So super relatable content is what you just did there. I love it.
I also love that story. I've never heard that before. And now I know that Lee can spin fire.
I can, although I might be a little rusty now. But I do own a fire staff, so if we want to test it out someday, we'll do it.
This is a very random story about fire, but since we're sharing fire stories, I have a friend, Rebecca. You know her. Friend Rebecca. She
friend
helps
of the
us run our
pod, Rebecca, host
friend
of
of the
many
pod,
a queer
Rebecca.
trivia night.
One night, it was early on knowing her. We were out at a bar, and she was bragging about how, I can breathe fire. And she was like bragging about it constantly. Like, yeah, I could do it. Like, all I need is like, I forget what the thing was that she needed. It was like flour or something, right? Like, all I need is flour. And like, if I have the flour, then I can like blow it out of my mouth and fire will come out, right? So we go back to her apartment and we're like, we couldn't find flour. So we use like baking soda, okay? So we use like something else. And she goes to blow the fire. And it was the most anticlimactic thing ever. She basically just spit baking soda out of her mouth and nothing set on fire. And she'd been bragging all night. And I have a video. It's like so sad. I was like, yeah, set it on fire. And it's just like the worst. So I don't know what the point of that is, but I just remembered it and it's hilarious.
I like how you're
That's
like,
it.
here's a story about fire. It involves no fire.
No fire. Valerie,
Amazing.
do you have any fire stories?
I do. I was just thinking, one year for my birthday, I went to the Beetle House in LA, which is the Tim Burton themed bar out here. They also have one in New York, I think. And they have a whole sideshow. So they have contortionists, fire breathers. They had a lady who could take like a full-size spoon and she could like stick it up her nose, like all the way back. It was incredible. But to the fire, there was a very cool fire breather who then also like did like the thing where they like stick it down their throat and put it out, and it's like was wild. It was very
Crazy.
neat.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
It probably
great
was
bar.
Rebecca, that fire breather. Oh, poor Rebecca. She'll be so embarrassed that I told that story, but sorry.
But we love
She's
you for
always-
telling it. I
Yes,
think that's the
I
important
know.
thing.
Yeah.
I know. But I do agree. So I think we can say that this was like a town where like gayness was the norm.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, okay, but maybe I'll try being straight. And then
Yes.
he goes out into the world. And I feel like when he is going out as Santa, right? It's like he's literally wearing a beard.
Yes. Yes, exactly. I love that. Yes, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone sees him and is like, this isn't quite right.
Yeah.
Well, and here's why I love it, right? Because in this reading of the movie, I love that Jack is like, I mean, yes, like being gay is amazing, but like also sometimes I just like I feel like I want something more, maybe. Like maybe there's, something different or new out there. And then he like falls into this world where he's like, wow, no one's like terrified of you or like judging you or like talking about how weird you are and like how crazy. That sounds kind of fun. And then like tries so hard to be like, I can fit in like this. I can be straight too. And everyone is like, no, sweetie. No.
Yeah.
Like so many queer people before who have tried to be like, I'm totally passing as straight. And you're like, oh, honey, sure you are. Sure you are with your beard. Of course. Yes.
But I do like that, like, at the end, it's not like he does go back to Halloween and he is like, he has a renewed energy for gayness.
Mm-hmm.
But I still like that, like, I do feel like he is still bisexual, right? It is like he was like, okay, I'm gay. And then was like, okay, there's like a wider spectrum that I can access of myself. And so maybe he went too far, but I still feel like he comes back having like a fuller spectrum of his own sexuality.
I love it.
I like that a lot.
I love it. I feel like it resonates a lot with like, I've seen so many things lately and like have really seen the value as well of like when people are like, hey, cis people, like really think about your gender sometimes. Like sit with your gender, like examine it. What makes you happy about it? Or like about how you embody it and stuff like that. And it's like, you can do that and still be comfortably and confidently like cisgendered, but like you learn more about yourself for the journey, you know? And like, I
Mhm.
like that for Jack, where he's like, I am gay and live in this gay town where everybody is queer and like we are all kind of like little queer weirdos out here in Halloween Town and like maybe I want to be something different. And then he's like, nope, maybe I'm actually just me, but like actually I love it a little more now, you know? And like
Mhm.
that's a beautiful thing.
The returning home to oneself.
Yes, exactly. I
Mhm.
love that. I love that for you, Jack. I love it.
And because he can return home and accept like where he's at with his sexuality, then he finally sees there's someone who's always accepted him for everything that he is.
And she's just been waiting this whole time, sadly, in the corner.
She was busy being a badass. She went to go save Santa Claus.
She did go save Santa Claus.
Which was pretty
Didn't
badass.
work, but she tried.
She did her best.
But she used her sexuality to do it, damn it.
What do we think of Sandy Claus?
Oh, that's a good question. I guess it depends on like which allegory are we leaning into at the time, you know?
I feel like the more I watch and think about it, I look at Sandy Claus as like the embodiment of heterosexuality.
Interesting.
He's like very angry. Of course he's angry because he got kidnapped. But he's also like, I don't know, he seems very rigid in his traditions.
He's got his list. Mrs. Claus, we see her shadow bacon cookies. Like, very
by the book.
Very by the book.
How about this? I'll propose an alternative reading because my third and final allegory, I think, in this movie is I also have an allegory where like Halloween Town is straight people, which I know is like completely the opposite of what we just talked about, but that's why I love this movie because you can dig into literally anything you want, and I'm gonna make it work for us. So
Okay, let's do it.
So if we go back to the allegory of like Jack discovers like gay little Christmas town with all of its colors and all of its bright things and its shiny food and its like exciting songs and happy people and whatever. I also think that you could draw like an interesting allegory out of it where we could talk about how sometimes straight people see queer things or queer culture and are like, we could have that too, and then like immediately destroy it. Right?
Ooh.
And you're like, no, actually, like, but you didn't quite get it, right? Because, like, you tried to, like, take things that you saw that are great because they're queer, but then you made them straight and they stopped being great. See? Like, that's, I think, a relatable content for gay people as well. Is straight people destroying things that we love by making them too straight. Because they don't get it, right? Because sometimes you can love something and not understand it, and you can, like, be trying to make the same thing, and, like, just miss the mark somehow, you know?
Yeah.
And so I like that allegory as well, because it's kind of like, no, like, this is also why sometimes you just need, like, to let gay people do like, let queer people tell queer stories, right?
Let queer people do queer Christmas.
Yes, like, let us do Christmas on our own. And so in that telling of it, I could totally see Santa being like a big gay bear being like, you done fucked up gayness, like, give it back and let me fix it.
Yeah.
Valid.
Very.
Just something to chew on, you know?
Yeah.
Just an idea.
I have a question, and maybe we don't know the answer to this. Is Tim Burton gay?
Not that I know of, and I also just Googled if Danny Elfman was bi, and apparently no.
Okay, I literally needed to know because it feels so. I do feel like Tim Burton writes queer things.
Yeah. I know a lot of it is like he grew up in like picture perfect like suburbia Burbank and like felt like a weird goth kid in like the 50s. And that's like where a lot of it came from, but that also like feels like such a queer experience.
Yes. So like he's considers himself an outcast, clearly, but to us we're like outcast equals queer.
Yeah,
and
I
to
also
him, there were other things that he was an outcast for.
just because I know you've already said bi-wife energy, I also feel like I could see bi-wife energy, even though I don't think there's any confirmation that she's bi either. So I
totally, I see
right,
that.
I could see that though.
Yeah.
Who's Tim Burton's wife?
He was with Helena Bonham Carter
For a long
but I
time,
believe
yeah.
they've split. Yeah.
That
And then
feels like
Danny
bi-wife
Elfman
energy.
was dating the book writer while they were working on this together. While he was
Interesting.
composing, she was the person that created Sally, because this is based off of a poem Tim Burton wrote where there's no Sally. There's only 3 characters. Yeah, she created. So there's a lot of Danny Elfman and her as Jack and Sally in the piece too. I was watching a documentary about it. I do really like this movie.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Tell us, I want more. What are some more fun Nightmare Before Christmas facts?
Apparently Tim Burton, I think, was only on set for like 9 days
Mm.
of the whole, like, I think it was like a 3.5-year process making this.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does the set look like for this, though?
There's a whole behind the scenes thing that they have on the VHS that's now like on YouTube. It's really cool. It's like they build the whole thing, and then there's all these trapdoors in the sets that the animators come up through to adjust things and then close them to get the shot.
Cool.
It's really neat. It's really neat. Danny Elfman has a Jack maquette. Apparently he has to get it like fixed every couple years because he melts because he's made of like the stuff. Yeah, they have a whole episode about like the making of it also on Disney Plus.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very neat. It's very, very neat.
I bet
And
it
on
is
that-
cool.
And on that behind the scenes video, they talk about how gay it is.
I mean, like it feel like even watching like I'm a big Danny Elfman fan, and even like watching like Oingo Boingo old videos and stuff. To me, that also like feels queer adjacent, and like Danny Elfman stuff just feels very queer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I asked.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it feels so much like it. It's like when your like gaydar gets pinged for a creator.
Yeah.
Because you're like, everything you've created is queer coded. Like, is there something going on here?
Yeah. Yeah,
But it's
according
okay
to
if
Google, they're
there's
not there's no out. No one's come out, but it feels like it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but then you're like, name a straight Tim Burton character, right?
That's true. There are none.
Yeah.
Maybe like the priest in Corpse Bride. Maybe not even him. I don't know. There's no straight characters in any Tim Burton movie.
No.
Amazing.
Nothing of the sort.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, you're not going to cast Johnny Depp and all these things and like not be queer.
Mm-hmm.
What else is gay about The Nightmare Before Christmas before we go into our ships?
I feel like we should talk about Oogie Boogie a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right?
Is Oogie Boogie like an ex-boyfriend?
Ooh, like a toxic
Jack?
ex.
Yeah, like Jack's toxic ex because he's been around for a long time. And he's
love
part of the
that.
party at the beginning. He's the guy on the moon. Like yeah. Shitty ex, maybe.
Well, he's very actively against, like, he's like, do not bring him near Oogie Boogie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, very much like, stay away from that man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you look at it that way, there's like a catharsis also in Jack killing Oogie Boogie at the end of like, okay, now he's done with his toxic ex. He's worked through some shit through Christmas and he's ready to start a new relationship.
Is that why Jack is burned out? Did he have a bad breakup a couple years ago and it's just like has not recovered?
Is killing Oogie
Yes.
Boogie the equivalent of like burning your ex's shit? Or like deleting the number from your phone finally?
Yes.
Mhm.
I love it.
Yeah, he just had to burn Oogie Boogie, but yeah, like burning a photo.
Mhm.
Just burn the real thing.
And then Santa Claus is just like, why did you get me in your ex drama? Like, please don't do this.
He's like, you could have just left it all alone and dealt with your ex another way.
Yeah.
I see it. I mean, and Oogie Boogie is like is scared of Jack,
Mm-hmm.
and like definitely like there's like a respect there that I feel like you have for your ex. Like he's like has a scared reverence,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because he's like, I know what you're capable of
Mm-hmm.
because I've seen it firsthand.
And the kid, like the trick or treaters, oh my gosh, they're like when you've broken up with someone and you have like the friend group that like they're each kind of like spying on each other. Like, did you know that this is happening with so and so? Like, actually, yeah, you know, they're playing both
Yes.
sides.
They're playing both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I did not expect to have that happen tonight, and that makes so much sense. I love when you just see something in a new light, you know?
Also, he apologizes when he comes down first. Before he's like, oh, he says the like line of that, like, oh, you must be like doubly dead. He says like, he's like apologizing about something, like, I didn't know you'd be here. Like, there's nothing going on here. Like, he's like trying to initially like hide the fact that he just like killed Santa Claus or tried to kill Santa Claus.
Nothing to see here. Nope. I'm still a good boy.
Yeah, I didn't just try to murder the girl that's been crushing on you. Like, no, why would I do that?
Yes.
I love
so
it.
see that.
I also love it because Oogie Boogie's character is like super into like cards and dice and like reading the signs. So like, is Oogie just your like toxic like tarot card ex who is like trying to ruin your new relationship? I love it.
Yeah.
Especially because he tried to kill Sally. So you're like,
Mm-hmm.
I get that Sally like ruined your whole thing with Sandy Claus, but still, like maybe there's a little bit underneath.
Wait, though. What if Oogie Boogie thinks that like Jack is like interested in Santa Claus because that's why he's like so into Christmas, and is like, oh,
Yes.
this is the new one. We gotta kidnap him and get rid of him.
Yes.
And he misreads.
I totally
he
see
misreads.
that.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, and Santa's like, keep me out of your messy shit.
yeah.
It's like, I swear to God, he likes me. I do not like him.
Mhm.
I'm not into it. I don't want the drama. Wow.
Santa Claus just wants to like go to work and go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, just let me do my shit and then go home to my wife and like chill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Damn, Oogie Boogie.
I have two other notes that we haven't talked about yet. They're both about
Okay.
Sally. Because I know we talked about Sally, but we did go a little fast. So I just have two quotes that I wrote down from the evil scientist. One is he goes, "You're mine, you know. I made you with my own hands," which like again is why I think I do still lean into the like homophobic parents reading of this. Because the other one is he does tell her, "It's a phase, my dear. It'll pass." And I was like, "Yep,
I wrote that quote down too. I just looked at my notes. I knew you were going to say that quote
yep."
because I also still am like, if you are not queer, whoever uses the phrase "it's a phase,"
Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
like as the writer of this,
Mm-hmm.
you wrote. Why would you write the words "it's a phase"?
Because it's gay.
Yeah, but like, do straight people ever use that? Seriously, they don't, right?
Maybe for
they
like
do.
your emo, like if you like go through like your emo rock phase, you know.
Mm.
But like,
I was also going to say they write it like when you're going through, like when they're writing characters who are gay and are being told it's a phase. Like,
Yeah, like only you say that to gay people. It's a
Yeah.
phase.
yeah, yep.
Wow.
Also,
Yep.
has Catherine O'Hara played a completely straight role? Because I feel like every character she's played gives at least bi energy.
so true.
Oh yeah.
So true.
The mom in Home Alone.
Yeah.
Dahlia in Beetlejuice, or whatever her name
Schitt's
is. all of
Creek,
them.
yeah.
Schitt's Creek, everything.
So much bi energy.
Accurate.
I forget her name in Best in Show, but
Mhm.
that one too.
Yes,
And Eugene Levy has bi wife energy in like everything
Yes.
for sure.
because of his bi wife, Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, those were
There's-
my last two notes, which is the only things we hadn't gotten to.
Thank you. I mean, no, those were good. Those were so good. Oh, my one thing that I wanted to say that I sort of said, but when they're literally trying to shoot Jack out of the sky,
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like that is homophobia at its finest.
Oh, yeah.
Like I feel
Mhm.
like I wrote it down where I was just like, these people are so homophobic. They like need to shoot this man out of the sky who's like just trying to live his life as Santa, you know?
Wait, and they're doing it to protect their children. Oh my God,
yeah,
Ellie.
we have to protect the kids
Oh my God.
Yeah.
from this gay.
They're like,
thing
the
in the
gay
sky.
agenda is coming down our chimneys.
Yes.
Because let's be
The-
real, there's only like one dangerous thing he gives, and it's like the man-eating wreath. Like that, you know, everything else is
Yeah.
just kind of like weird looking, you know?
Exactly. They're totally overreacting about these like hands moving, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like a Jack in the Box that talks. Like what?
Whatever.
It's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, like get over it. They just got a gay present. Yeah.
I almost snorted the water out of my nose just now.
But yeah,
amazing.
I think that was like totally just all of that was so homophobic.
Oh, it is. And also, like, can we just talk about the, like, over-the-top queer drama of Jack in the cemetery afterwards, where he's like, I will lay my body down on this statue, like this angel carrying me, because I'm so sad about the straight people. And you're like, yes.
Listen,
like,
the
yeah, he's like,
spooky
"I can't
gays
believe
hang
this
out in
makes so much-"
cemeteries. Like, as the spooky gay. Like,
so true.
that's so on brand.
I love it.
So on brand.
Wow. Wow, amazing. Amazing read on that.
But yes, I mean this whole thing, we can whatever allegory you want to read it as, it's clearly two different worlds of sexuality and like the way that someone is going to move between them.
Let's
and
say it,
all of
Ellie. Nightmare Before Christmas. Should have been gay.
Mm-hmm. It really should have been gay. All right, so which characters are we shipping?
Oh my god.
The vampire polycule, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
Yep.
And what would you say the ship name of the vamp polycule is?
Do they have different names, or do
I
they
don't
have
even know
names?
that they do.
I think they're just called the vampires.
The vamps.
The vamps. Yeah, it's gonna be hard that they don't have names because I'm gonna run into the same issue with the witches, who I for sure ship. The two witches that fly around all over the place. They are
They can
definitely
just be
together,
vamps.
and I don't have any names for them, but I love them.
Mm-hmm.
What about our little Jack and Sally?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have an official ship name? What's Sally's last name? Does Sally have a last name?
I don't think she has one.
I don't
What?
know. Nothing.
There's no good name for them. Can we just
No, I was just thinking that. I was like, I put both of those together, and I was like, both of those are awful.
No, yeah, it's bad.
What about-
Jally or Sack? There's no good answer here.
What about Sallington?
Oh, okay, that's cute.
Oh,
Because I like Skellington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We love
That's
Jack and
cute.
Sally. What about Oogie Boogie and Jack?
Oh, it's only getting worse.
Yeah.
Joogie Boogie.
Joogie Boogie.
Yeah, I can't think of a good one.
Boogington. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Boogington. Wow, the ship names are going to be horrific.
These are
for
rough.
This, but
These are rough
Yeah,
on us.
these are really bad.
we're doing our best.
Yeah.
I don't have any other. I don't know who else to ship. I think
Mhm.
that's really it.
Yeah. Santa Claus with anyone?
Sandy Claus. I feel like you could say Sandy Claus and Jack, or Sandy Claus and Oogie Boogie if you want to say Oogie Boogie kidnapped Sandy to do some shit to him.
Skelling Claus?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Skellington is really saving the day here with these
Thank
ship names.
Yeah, it really is. It
Thank
really
goodness.
is.
Really is.
What about the triad, our little Oogie's boys triad?
What
Because
are
they
the-
do
they're-
have names, right?
They're
Lock, Shock, and
Lock, Shock, and Barrel.
Lock, Shock, and Barrel.
Lock and Shock are too close.
I know.
Yeah.
Barrel Shock.
Schlockle.
Schlockle is bad.
Yeah,
Listen, it's all
really
bad right
bad.
now. This is a rough
Yeah.
episode
All
for
right.
this.
We'll
So
have
bad.
to think.
Listen,
I'm like
we
wake
can
up in the middle of the night, like epiphany. About
Yeah.
what they should be called.
can we just say we ship all the little queer people in Halloween Town together
Yes.
and leave it
Yes.
at that?
Yes. Halloqueens.
Queens. Yes.
All right. It's time. I can't continue these ships. It's time for a Q and Gay. Are you ready, Valerie?
I'm so ready.
Q and gay.
Question number 1. What's your favorite holiday? A, Halloween, B, Christmas, C, Easter, or D, Thanksgiving?
Hey, Halloween.
Knew it.
An easy one for you. Question 2. Who is the gayest character in The Nightmare Before Christmas? Out of A, Jack, B, Sally, C, Oogie Boogie, or D, Santa Claus?
As someone who wanted to be Jack when they were a child, 100% Jack.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jack.
Fair enough.
All right. Question number 3. Is The Nightmare Before Christmas an A, Halloween movie, B, Christmas movie, or C, both?
C, both.
Beautiful.
It's just fun at all times of the year. You can't go wrong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Question 4. What is the gayest song in The Nightmare Before Christmas? A, This Is Halloween. B, What's This? C, Sally's Song. Or D, Jack's Lament.
D, Jack's Lament. And I would even go farther to say the reprise in the cemetery.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Mhm.
Yep. All right. Question number 5. Who was your gay awakening? A, Jack, B, Sally, C, both.
C, both, because I wanted to be Jack, but I thought Sally was like so pretty.
Accurate.
Yep.
Yep. True
So you wanted to
story.
be Jack and be with Sally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Valid.
Yeah.
Valerie, thank you so much for hanging out with us, talking about this very, very gay Christmas Halloween film.
Thank you.
Do you have anything coming up that you want to tell our audience about?
Probably. I have no idea. I'm always putting stuff on my social media. stuff. I know I have stuff coming out. I just don't know when.
Where can they find those social medias?
Yes. So my Instagram is at Valerie Rose Lohman. My Twitter is at Valerie Lohman. I'm also on TikTok at Valerie Rose Lohman, and then I'm on YouTube as Valerie Rose VO. So I'm all the places.
Incredible. And you do have like one big project that we know about, right?
Yeah, we do. We announced our title of our next project yet?
I don't know, because it's still our working title, right? But why not? Let's drop it.
Yeah. So we're currently producing our second musical altogether called Journey to the Heart,
Love
which we're
it.
so excited about. Gay musical adventure.
That's so
Choose
gay.
your own gay adventure. We're so
gay.
excited. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Thank you yet again, Valerie. We love you so much.
What a blast.
I love you too. This is like the best. I had so much fun.
Killed it.
Let me hear you say hip, 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 we're gay.
We love hearing from all of you. We love continuing to build this community, and we just like to shout out some of our favorite things every week. And this week, we have a couple. First, we want to shout out Olivia, who DM'd us on Instagram and had, I think, the best sequence of messages for us. The first one was telling us if we haven't watched Fear Street yet, we should really watch Fear Street because it's super great and sapphic, and we agree. Then promptly messaged us, I think just a few hours later, to say that they found our Fear Street episode and loved it. We love that journey for you, Olivia. We're so happy you found the episode, and we obviously are a little bit obsessed with the movies. Don't worry. We also want to shout out one of our patrons, Majuba, who really saved the day on Twitter by posting a link to some Diane Carla Cheers fanfiction, because crucial for us to have this. We hope everyone checked it out and maybe, found some more fanfic out. I'm sure it exists. And if you have other recommendations, please email us or DM us or, post them on our Twitter. At us for all of these stories is basically what we're saying. And as always, we want to thank our Lesbian Jesus patrons, Mark Foster, Jess Klaus, Tanya Ferguson, Danny Griswold, Jacqueline Rose Nishino, Sarah and Julia, Danny Gunlock Tamora, Alana Rosen, Brittany Ray, and Tara Gleason. And our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen, Leah Hendley, Liz Chen, Julia Gonzalez, and Ashley White.
Remember, you can also find us on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and now TikTok at Let's Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at letshangoutpod@gmail.com or check out our website at letshangoutpod.com.
Or check out our website at letshangoutpod.com.
Whatever app you're using to listen to podcasts, make sure that you subscribe. That way you'll get new episodes as soon as they go up every week. And make sure that you've also subscribed to the Flames RSS feed, because we are going to be getting ready for our next show promptly. So you'll want to be prepared and, make sure that you've got that locked in for anything that happens to come up for our next musical. Also, we have a YouTube channel with videos still going up. You can subscribe to that at youtube.com/letshangoutpod.
If you want to support the podcast, one of the easiest ways to do that is to rate and review us on iTunes. We love hearing what you have to say, and it helps new people find the show.
If you want to support us financially, you can do that at our Patreon. You can join us at bit.ly/lespatreon. We have so much fun, and we are so grateful for all of our patrons. They really make this show possible. We have Les Central's viewing parties. We have our Discord server. We have game nights. We have all sorts of cool stuff. So again, bit.ly/lespatreon. Or you can also help us just making new musicals at our Flame Patreon, which you can find at bit.ly/theflamepatreon. We are really kicking off prep work for the next show. We've already got so much work done on the scripts and the songs. We're starting casting. And that means, we're gonna have to start getting ready to cast our actors and pay them. So if you want to join our Patreon, it is such a huge source of support for us to continue making these shows. Or you can buy our merch. We have all sorts of designs. They're all up in our TeePublic. You can find it at bit.ly/lesshop. You can get any of our designs on t-shirts, on mugs, on masks, on totes, on all sorts of cool stuff. And, just spread the Les Hangout joy in the world. If you want to follow us individually, you can find me at LSH Foster on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
You can find me at Ellie Brigida on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Lee. And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Buffet brawlers, glory holes gone wrong, cannibalistic castration cabins, public poopers? These are just a few of the crazy topics you'll hear covered on Excuse Me, That's Illegal, the pettiest podcast around. Whether you need a break from all that murdery true crime stuff, or just enjoy hearing hilarious stories told in a unique way, I got what you need. I'm Leroy Luna, your fearless host/chauffeur. So come hop in my minivan and let's go for a ride. I promise you probably won't be disappointed. Excuse Me, That's Illegal is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, basically everywhere you consume podcasts, with new episodes dropping on the 10th, 20th, and 30th of the month, baby!